And hydroponic moth. If you error message. General error. Unable to download. What? That's not good. Let me try this again. PriestPants. This match. Watch replay. Okay, it seems to be downloading now, so I think we're good. Okay, so if you're just tuning into the recording, I'm now going to comment on the play of PriestPants playing Soraka as a support in a 1700 ELO game. So this is probably going to be much higher level than the game we just watched. He's even against the infamous Freak. I guess he's just famous, not infamous, but... Okay, so... Yeah, so here we'll see both AP mids taking Flash Ignite, very standard. Udyr with Ghost, it's pretty acceptable. Ezreal running Heal Ignite, so their bottom lane's going to have to kind of watch that extra burst damage coming from the Ignite on Ezreal. So you see the difference in the bottom lane summoner spells, because the bottom lane's going to be Sona Ezreal versus Tristana Soraka, is the other team's going to have Ignite, whereas Tristana's going to have Flash. So while Tristana will have a little more utility and movement with the Flash, Ezreal's going to have the enemy bottom lane is going to have a lot more damage, and they're going to have to be aware of that with the Ignite, especially as Soraka. You're going to have to really watch that Ignite and be aware. If you wait too long to heal, when the Ignite's going to be on them, your heal's going to be reduced by 50%. So you have to play that game where maybe you heal a little early so it doesn't quite heal them all the way, but it's before they Ignite. Alrighty. Pretty standard opening for a support.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
I don't know why my law replay wigs out in the beginning, but it'll be fine.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
So already, you'll see in this game, there's a lot of communication. It's already the team warning about level 2 ganks. Here we see an invade.
A summoner has disconnected.
So we see Trist is... So what Trist was doing there is she was trying to provide vision for her team so they could see what they were doing. Their team wards her to back out because it was really dangerous. So they're just going to take their own jungle. Looks like they're not invading. It's hard to tell if Freak is up here taking Nocturne's jungle or not, but I hope not. Yeah, so Nocturne's saying, look, Udyr's taking my red and he's going to gank top, so be ready for that and don't die to it. So, PriestPants is mid. So, PriestPants is just holding mid while Ahri reconnects. I messed up the camera angle again, didn't I? Okay. Alrighty. So we'll just follow PriestPants, kind of watch what's going on bottom lane. So. So Sona doing that Sona thing where she has huge damage at level 1 with her power cord in her Q. So one thing you'll notice is that PriestPants went ahead and warded this bush, so try to prevent Sona sitting in there and zoning them out. Tristana just took a lot of damage for really no reason though. Like, no reason to get hit by that Ezreal Q she got hit with. So one thing that happens is, when you're playing in a game like this, level 1 exchanges can sometimes really determine the flow of the lane. So already, just in that exchange where they took a lot of damage, they are already playing very passively and they're pushed way back to their turret. Tristana's probably going to miss some CS to the turret. Yeah, they're low health, they have to play more passively. You know, they're in danger of, if their team ganks, they have to be careful and can't really help out Nocturne because they're low health. But they also have Soraka, PriestPants has Soraka, so you see they're already like full health and topped off, which is why Soraka is really strong in bottom lane. There's like almost no reason to harass against a Soraka lane. She just heals it all up. So for those watching, I do want to talk about some of the subtleties to playing Soraka. I'm just going to assume PriestPants knows, because when you're a 1700 player, you tend to know most of the tricks to the game. So Soraka's heal, what makes it really good, it's not just the heal, it's the huge armor buff. Already at rank 2, it gives 50 bonus armor. So it's most effective not to use it like after a skirmish to heal up. It's most effective to use it in the middle of a skirmish when it steal heals for the maximum it can. So if Tristan is missing 146 health, it's best to use it, right when they start fighting, so that she has the armor buff. And then the other thing that's going to differentiate, just like a standard Soraka play from a really great Soraka play, is the timing of silence. You can use great silence timings to prevent people from flashing away. You can do all sorts of fun stuff. And so this is what I was talking about. That was a really good heal by PriestPants. As soon as Triss jumps in there, healed her. It healed her for the full amount, and she had that armor buff to fight with. So that's good heals by PriestPants. And like I said, at 1700 elo, that's very expected. So in that fight, at least Triss picked up the kill, but she might get hit by the Ezreal. So what happened right there is they got engaged on, and Triss and Soraka, they really weren't worried about it, because they had Summoner heal up, they had Soraka heal up. But what Ezreal used Ignite on Soraka, so when she Summoner healed, and probably might actually have used heal on herself, I'm not sure, but it didn't heal for very much because Ezreal had that Ignite, and so that's what I was talking about. They have to be really careful with that, because they can be confident thinking that they have heals coming, and then the Ignite really cuts down that healing, and that's what happened there. You see that both sides used their Summoner heals, but because Soraka had Ignite on her, the Summoner heal really didn't heal for very much, and that's why they lost that skirmish. They were willing to fight that because they're like, oh hey, we have Summoner heal up. But then Ezreal had a really good Ignite, and it really cut down on the healing, and that's why they lost that. So. Big damage coming out of the Sona. Triss fail jumped though. Oh man, that would have been a kill on the Sona. That's a really annoying thing about playing Tristana. PriestPants heal was off cooldown, or he could have flash healed to save the Ahri. But oh man, she so right there, and PriestPants probably knows this stuff. This isn't the stuff that PriestPants wanted help with. But I'm going to say it for the rest of the viewers. So, right there, PriestPants should have flashed earlier. Had flash up, saw TF had a gold card, and if TF lands that gold card, as you saw, she was dead. So, the right play would have been to just flash early. Flash safe, but I was just way too stingy on that flash, and flashed too late. And she flashed, she had Ignite on her from TF, so even heals weren't going to save her. And like I said, PriestPants, you're probably watching, and I know that's not the stuff you wanted help on, because that's stuff that I know a 1700 player knows that mistake, and knows, yeah, I should have flashed earlier. But saying that, for the rest of the people watching, that was just kind of a weird skirmish. Like, Nocturne got caught, and then they fought because PriestPants' team had numbers, but then like TF and I forget who else came in. And so, the reason why they died there is they fought because they thought they had numbers and they thought they had an advantage, but pretty soon it ended up, and PriestPants goes down again, so they got caught right there. So that right there, when you walk, this is very dangerous, and it's something that a lot of players do. When you're walking back to lane through here, this is very, very dangerous to walk through here. Especially because saw the enemy team was up here in a very aggressive position. He knows that he's going to get hit right here. He probably thought he could live, and he was overconfident in his heal and his armor buff. But Ezreal had his Ignite up again, so he used that Ignite to pick up that kill. So that's the thing that's actually very common for players to do, is get caught walking back into lane And if you go out to ward and the enemy's here, don't walk back this way. Take the long way and be safe. So things aren't looking good right now for PriestPants in the lane. It's died 3 times. Trist has 2 kills at least. But Ezreal's up 20 CS and 2 kills. And so this is when you see, like, it might be tempting when you see, like, oh, Trist is down 20 CS on Ezreal, Tristana sucks. But actually what's happening is PriestPants has died 3 times, and that makes it really difficult for their Tristana to CS if their support's not in lane. Especially against, like, Ezreal Sona, that's such an aggressive lane, so. And you see that PriestPants is behind too, level 5, when Ezreal's level 7, Sona's level... Okay, Sona's also level 5, so it's not that far behind, but... I thought Sona was level 6, so... Ooh, that Q did a lot of damage. Whenever you're laning against an Ezreal, you really want to try to avoid getting hit by Qs, obviously. Because you tend to lose when that happens. Oh man. So Trist was really trying to kill that Sona, and she got baited with the summoner heal. So Trist ended up didn't even kill the Sona to get the kill, which is unfortunate. PriestPants walked up to try to save Sona, and Ezreal just Q'd and killed him, which was that was a mistake by PriestPants. She's so low, he just got it back. But it was a mistake by Tristana to engage on that too, with no support. Like, he should know that Soraka's so low, he can't help. And what's happening is because, like, Sona and Ezreal are playing so excuse me, so aggressive, they just keep fighting. And they keep losing the fight, makes Soraka either die or go back to base. Soraka's still level 5, it's so behind. The solo lanes are level 9 on both teams, and we don't even have Soraka ult yet. And so I think this is a mistake by PriestPants right here. You're so close to level 6, and that level 6 is such an advantage to your team. You should have just stuck around for like 2 creeps to get that level 6.
An ally has been slain.
But it's not going to matter. Looks like she's going to hit level 6 without needing that ult. But that's one thing to keep in mind when you're playing a champion with like a huge global ult. That's very helpful to the team, like Soraka ult. You just need to get level 6 when you're behind. That's all you can do. So this is one thing that you'll see at higher level play. Bot lane has a huge advantage, this Ezreal Sona, and they took the turret. So what they're going to do is they're going to keep really heavy pressure on this lane. They don't care if they push up. I mean, generally, you know, pushing your lane up's not a good idea, but Sona has oracles, so they have total map control on the bottom half of the map. Just complete map control. She's probably warding it. They're going to see Nocturne coming. They're going to be protected because of wards. And they're so far ahead that they don't even care. Like, maybe they don't know Nocturne's here, actually. But they're so far ahead, they're probably not even going to die to, like, a 3v2. They might even be able to win it. So they don't even care. So, you see, this is something you'll see at higher level play compared to lower level play. Is that a team's going to really run with any advantage they get. So we know that Ezreal Sona are way stronger than the other bottom lane. So right now they're being very aggressive. They're in their jungle. They're diving and they're fighting. And they're trying to... And the reason why, they probably knew that Blue Buff just spawned about 10 seconds ago. And they probably knew that. So they're like... They got their whole team. They're like, hey guys, let's go into their jungle. Let's take their Blue Buff. Wow. TF ulting into their base to get a kill. So this is something you'll see at higher level play that, like, for example, we didn't see really in that last game, is a team gets an advantage. That advantage is their bot lane's really far ahead. And they spiral that advantage by controlling the jungle. They knew that Blue Buff was going to spawn, so they sent their whole team to contest this Blue Buff, and it worked out because they're so far ahead. At this point in the game, the score is 5-15. This is pretty much over. This is really not looking good. The blue team is so far ahead right now. They win the game if they don't make any big mistakes, which is a problem. So if we look at kind of what happened in this game, like, there are some misplays, and this is one example of what can happen when you're against good players and you make one mistake. PriestPants made one mistake, and that's engaging. Probably forgot about the ignite. They thought they were fine to fight this, got a little caught, but they were like, whatever, we'll fight this. We have Summoner heal, and Soraka heals. But Ezreal had ignite, so that heal didn't do anything, and it ended up making Soraka drop really fast, and then Triss died too. And what bot lane did, the Ezreal Sona, they did really well, is they spiraled that lead that they got off that play. So they spiraled that lead, and they really kept PriestPants like denied, out of the lane, and under level. I mean, PriestPants made a few mistakes, like walking the lane through here, getting caught. That's a big mistake. That definitely should never have happened. But Sona made a really good decision. Sona was like, she probably picked up a kill, and she has 2 kills, so she probably picked up a kill earlier, and she was like, hey, I just got kill money. I'm just going to get an early oracles so that we have total map control down here, and that's a good play. I mean, yeah, at this point in the game, like, PriestPants is so far behind, and the enemy team is so far ahead, they just can't do anything. Like, they're going to lose 3v2 fights, they're going to lose 4v3 fights, they're just so far behind. The only thing you can do in this situation is you just have to farm up. You can't contest objectives unless you get like a really perfect engage. You just have to farm up. And this is probably like I play support a fair amount, and this is probably the worst game you could play support in. You're behind, your team's behind. When you're playing like Soraka, especially if you get behind on Soraka, you're so squishy that people just look at you and you die. This is a very dangerous position. PriestPants is walking through. Yeah, he's just gonna get caught right here. Yeah, there's no way. Just gonna live. No flash. They're definitely dead. Yep. So that's a. So one thing I'm noticing with PriestPants is just these laps of judgment. I don't know. And I do it too. Like either you're just not paying attention to where people are on the map. But walking through here, when Ezreal and Sona are pushing over here, Udyr and Riven are right here, and like half health, not even running away. That's bad, because as you saw, she just got pinched in by 4 people. And so that's just bad lack of awareness of what's going on in the map around. So right now, PriestPants got an oracles. I think that's a good move. Like, you're so behind. You need to establish some kind of map control so that you can just farm. Because right now, the only thing purple team can do is just farm and catch up. That's all they can do. So it's probably a good move. The only thing is, like, when you buy an oracles, you just can't die. Because, like, their team's so far behind and PriestPants is so far behind. If he dies with his oracle, they're not getting another. PriestPants is going to have to be really careful because this Riven can just like kill her. Yeah, there she goes. Yep. And so, I mean, it was good bait and it got the kill, but that's a play. That's a good play to make if you don't have oracles. But because PriestPants just bought oracles, that's a very dangerous play. And so this is what I was talking about. When you get behind on Soraka, people look at you and you die. Like, you drop triple heal, summoner heal, alt heal, and this heal, and still died because so far behind. Riven's so far ahead. Where is Riven? I mean, okay, Riven actually is only 2 and 5, only has 86 CS, but global objectives with like Dragon still is giving her decent items like double Dorns and a Brutalizer. Riven is gonna do tons of damage. Since Race in the game, I'm gonna use this quote. So I mean, you heard me call. I'm like, okay, Riven's just gonna insta kill him because you really have to. Like when you're behind on Soraka, you have to be aware that like you just die if people look at you, and you have to play accordingly. So that's a good trade if PriestPants did not have oracles, because they got 2 assists on that, so they got assist gold, and Riven probably didn't have a killing spree because it's 2 and 5. And Soraka, since you're 0 and 8, like, you're not worth very much gold. So it would have been a good trade, except for the fact that PriestPants just bought oracles. And since they're so far behind, they're never going to... Like, he's not going to get that oracle back for pretty much the whole game, unless they have a team fight where he racks up a whole bunch of assists. So here we see Riven overextending, and they're trying to gank him. Yeah, they're going to pick up that kill, no problem. Riven actually missed his ult on Trist, but he wouldn't have killed her, so... So one thing, PriestPants, that I see you doing, you're roaming around the map a lot, and I know you're trying to ward, but what's happening is you're getting really, really, really far behind in experience. And it's something that's really easy to do on supports. It's a problem that I've had on supports. You start roaming around because you're like, oh, I want to go help these guys, I want to go ward this, and so on. And it means that you're never soaking up experience, and it puts you really far behind. And so, this is why you're level 8, and you're 3 levels behind Sona, 3 levels behind anyone in your team. It's because you're roaming around too much. So you need to be aware of this when you're playing support. And this is one of the biggest reasons, like, some people think support needs to ward the entire map, and they can't. Because if their job is to ward the entire map, that's all they're going to do all game. They're going to run up here and ward, then they're going to run down here and ward, and so on. And they're just going to get so behind in experience. I like that. Well, at least now I have some replays on how to play Udyr. So I've been ignoring what's going on in chat. When your team's losing this bad, it's probably not good. But so I think that last point I was making is a really important point. What's happened, like, the last, I don't know, 5-6 minutes is PriestPants has just gone down here, gone up here, gone down here, gone up here. It's gained barely any experience. Hasn't really had a presence in their team. Actually, I take that back. He's been moving smart, going to where action is. He saved a few teammates. He's been doing good work for that. But just so far behind in experience. Like, you should be sitting mid, soaking up some XP right now. So far behind, you need to get some experience. Yeah, Fed Udyr is real terror. They just don't die. Oh man, those wild cards. Okay, good. So PriestPants almost went around this way. That would have been for sure death. Another mistake in positioning, but went around the safe way. That's good. Oh, PriestPants don't get caught. Okay, so good. So PriestPants a little tankier now. Rank 5, or no, I guess just 4. Rank 4 heal gives good armor. And it's healing enough, so this might not be okay. I was gonna say this might not be a good dive for blue team, but they're so far ahead they can pull that off, no problem. It doesn't even matter. So for some of the people watching, you may be wondering, like, why Nocturne ulted right there, because he didn't jump on anyone. A lot of people tend to forget that Nocturne ult does 2 things. Not only does it let you jump on people, but it also the darkness. And so he was ulting to try to save the Tristana. So Triss jumps over the wall and Nocturne ults, so they can't see anything. So if one person jumps over the wall, their team can't see. It's just kind of like a desperation. I'm gonna ult to try to save people. But so this game was a big snowball game. Bottom lane, they made a few mistakes. Like, I know PriestPants wanted me to talk about more like the higher level, like, team choices and stuff, but when your team's so far behind, there's really not much you can do. There were mistakes in lane, especially bottom, that caused Ezreal and Sona to get really far ahead, and their team really, blue team did a really good job of running with that. They really took advantage of that. I talked about how they were very aggressive and stole blue. Because they were so far ahead, they were allowed to do that. They had full control on Dragon because Sona had oracles since like 8 minutes or so. And blue team just... When you give a team that big of an advantage, it's really the team's choice to lose it. And blue team played really well and didn't lose that advantage, and is just spiraling that all game. So I don't really know what much to say. There are just some mistakes and some errors in judgment during the laning phase, and it really just... Blue team really took that snowballed really hard off of that. I can't really say for what happened in other lanes, but it doesn't look like they did well. I mean, Ari is 2-0, but like 6 kills and 60 CS behind TF. The jungle's 1-7, top lane 6-7 with 100 CS at 26 minutes. So yeah, I mean, yeah, and the classic shit talking going on. Whenever you lose, people always just talk shit. So PriestPants, for you, I just have to say that always when you're playing Soraka, be very careful about that ignite. All of this started because of this engage, where you're standing a little too close. So that's another thing. Here you're standing too close. You got initiated on by Ezreal and Sona, and that should never happen. You should be behind your AD, but you're trying to establish bush control and harass, and that's fine. You just got caught a little bit, and you needed to heal before the ignite happened, but the ignite happened, then you healed, and that's why you guys lost this fight, and it all snowballed from there. And then there were other small mistakes, like coming this way through lane when they're both right here is just a bad decision, and like you just died there. I don't know if you just weren't paying attention, or if maybe you just thought they couldn't kill you. And like, I've done that. You're like, oh, I'll be fine, I'm Soraka, I have a huge armor heal, and then you die anyway. And I think right there, when you died there, that was the point where the lane was just hopelessly lost. And once that lane's hopelessly lost, blue team did a good job. They played very aggressive, controlled blue buff, controlled the jungle, and just really took that advantage and snowballed off of it. So I think that replay was a really good example of how good players will snowball advantages, and good teams will snowball advantages. Since blue team was winning bottom lane so hard, they really took advantage. They controlled dragon. Sona got that early oracles, which just gave them complete and total dragon control. Like, we don't even know how many dragons they took because we couldn't see it because it wasn't warded. So because bottom lane got so far ahead, they took complete control of dragon, they took control of the blue buff, and they just really spiraled from there. So I don't have a lot to say in games that are stomps like that. It's really hard to say much because those few mistakes in the beginning really just lost the game. So just be really mindful of when you're playing Soraka. Be really mindful of ignites or things that reduce healing, or if you're just using summon or heal too, because that's really what happened there. And be very careful on your positioning as support, and make sure you don't get behind. That's probably the biggest thing I'm gonna say. You can't get that far behind as a support. You were level 8 when the lowest other level in the game was 11, and it just makes it so that you're so squishy. Like that play top, that 3-on-1 with Riven, where Riven just dove you and insta killed you through 3 heals. That's what happens when you get behind as support, especially as Soraka, and it's something I've done a lot. You just get so far behind, and then you're just like, people look at you and you die, so you get more behind because you get zoned out of everything. And so you just gotta really try to make sure you just keep up in experience. I know that you want to ward and establish map control for your team, but you gotta stay up on experience. So alright, okay, so that was the second replay. I'm gonna stop the recording.